Perfect! We now know how to compare two different elements. In this class, we are going to learn how to compare three. So let's get started. Let's imagine that we want to compare a mouse, a cat, and an elephant. And the adjective that we want to use for this is big, the word big. There's several ways in which we can do this, because we could start the sentence with the cat, the mouse, or the elephant. Let's start with the cat, so that you learn a new structure. Pause the video right now and try to figure it out by yourself. Come back to me when you feel ready. Perfect. Let's have a look at the answer. In this case, you would say the cat, the one in the middle, the cat is bigger than the mouse, but not as big as the elephant. Do you see this new structure? Not as big as? Well, you will see that we are going to be using as another way to compare. Let's now start the sentence with the elephant. What can you say about the elephant in relation to the mouse and the cat? Let's now start the sentence with the elephant. What can we say about the elephant in relation to the mouse and the cat? We have a couple of blanks here in this phrase, so pause the class right now and try to complete them. Do you have them? Very good. If we start the sentence with the elephant, we would say the elephant is bigger than both the mouse and the cat. And notice that we're using the word both, which means the two of them. We can start this sentence with the mouse as well, and maybe it's going to be a little bit different. Pause this class right now and try to think how to complete this sentence. Are you ready? Very good. You would say the mouse is smaller than both the cat and the elephant. Notice that even though we wanted to use the word big, in this case we need to use the complete opposite, because the mouse is not bigger really, it's actually smaller than both the cat and the elephant. Is that clear? Do you want more practice? Let's do it. How about this one? We want to use the word tall, that's our adjective this time, and we want to compare David, John, and Stephen. John and Stephen, also from a previous example. We want to start the phrase with John, the one in the middle. How do we do it? Pause the video now and work on the activity. Perfect. Let me show you my answer. John is taller than David, but not as tall as Stephen. Did you get it right? Well done. What if we want to start the phrase with Stephen? What would you say? Pause the video right now and work on your activity. Let me tell you the answer now. We would say Stephen is taller than both John and David, of course. And if we wanted to start the sentence with David, what can we say? Work on the activity by yourself. Now let me tell you the answer. David is shorter than both John and Stephen. Again, we need to use the opposite adjective. We had tall and now we use short. Another one? Good. Why don't we compare Carol, Mary, and Josephine using the word old? Let's start with Mary. Pause the class now and try to figure it out. Perfect. The answer should be Mary is older than Carol, but not as old as Josephine. Very good. If we want to start this phrase with Josephine, how would it be? Let me show you. Josephine is older than both Carol and Mary. Do you get the idea? Well done. Now we can start this phrase with Carol. Pause the class right now and then come back to compare the answer. Cool. Carol is younger than both Mary and Josephine. Do you see how we're using the opposite? We don't use old anymore. Now we use young, which happens to be also a short adjective, and that's why we say younger than. Let's do one more. This time we are comparing a watch, a smartphone, and a laptop. And we are going to be using the adjective expensive. Pause your class and try to complete the sentence that starts with the smartphone. Which answer do you have? Very good. The smartphone is more expensive than the watch, but not as expensive as the laptop. Very good. If we want to start with the laptop, how would it be? Do you have it? Let me show you my answer. The laptop is more expensive than both the watch and the smartphone. How do you feel about the use of both, which is maybe a new word? And how do you feel about the use of as to compare? We had a lot of opportunities to practice, but we still have one more way to express this situation. Let's start with the watch. Pause the class right now and work on the activity. Do you have an answer? Very good. You should say, the watch is cheaper than both the smartphone and the laptop. Once again, we're using the opposite adjective, expensive versus cheap. And in this case, we say cheaper than both. Do you get the idea? I'm sure you do. Well done. There is an assignment, of course, as in every class. I want you to think of 10 more examples where you can compare 3 different elements. Try to think of adjectives that are different to the ones that we've been using in this class. Use all the others from the course or adjectives that you know that we haven't used in this course. Leave your comments on the discussion board and then go to the next class.